In this video, I am going to use all things that I have had on hand or previously painted. These are some of the new DIY paint samples. I found some examples on Pinterest and I'm using some old decoupage paper, just basically kind of eyeballing it, cutting it out, and I'm gonna paint this in my favorite DIY paint in Apothecary. I use this color a lot. This is a dresser I did. I am going to do 2 coats of it to cover up that really cute petticoat pink, and then I'm gonna do all kinds of fun things to it, cutting out the decoupage paper, and I'm gonna use DIY paint, clear patina, to adhere that. It is my favorite decoupage medium. It's super forgiving. You can move it around really easily because it has a long open time. I like it so much better than Mod Podge or other decoupage mediums out there. We're gonna talk about IOD molds. This is something that Debbie Beard of DIY Paint did. I love the IOD molds and the air dry clay, but today I am using resin because it dries fast and sets up really fast. Once you use it, set it up, I think it's better to paint it while it is still kind of warm and moldable. I find that you can kind of move it around a little bit. We are going to talk about this grunge paper. Now there is a lot of really cool grunge stuff on Pinterest. I am not a professional decoupage paper cutter, but I do good at pretending to be one. I have so many old frames, and keeping with the theme of using what I have, I found some inspiration on Pinterest. I just use the cardboard insert in these old dollar store frames or garbage frames. I'm using some drawer lining paper here, and I am just decoupaging that right onto the cardboard. That's my fancy way of letting it dry. Thank you for watching. I'm giving you my heart. Using the IOD heraldry mold and painting it with little black dress. Have one more frame left. I had a pile of them in my last video. I did use up some of them. These were dollar store frames. This one is some kind of plastic. I am sure I found it in the garbage with like a box of free stuff. So I'm going to spray prime it just to make it a little easier for the DIY paint to stick. We're going to do one more frame of cycle. This video is part of a collaboration, and I was able to receive 4 different colors in the 2-ounce samples, and one of the colors was one of my favorites, Bohemian blue. I am doing the same thing. I'm just painting the cardboard in there and attaching this beautiful foil transfer from IOD. The foil transfers are a little different, where it's more like you're rubbing on a stencil. Now I'm back to my flaming heart and just added some gold. I love the way that turned out. I have a whole collection on Pinterest of little framed hearts. And here is the end result of my dollar store and found in the trash upcycled frames. Great way to use up old transfers and pieces of decoupage paper. I got 4 colors from DIY Paint to try here. These are coming in new sample sizes. If you've had a sample box before, then you know how awesome these are and how far the paint goes. Apothecary, Cowgirl, Coral, Queen Bee, and Bohemian Blue. I'm going to attempt to paint an ocean scene with a little sunset on this little IOD cradle board, and sometimes painting small is even harder. I am going to do a base coat blend of these 2 colors together for the ocean, and then for the sunset. Wish me luck. I mixed 2 parts Apothecary with 1 part Bohemian Blue, and a very scientific method there. I did not blend it all the way. I wanted some streaks left. As you can see, I had so much left over. I painted this pot. I want to show you I had even more left over, and so I went over this old project that was just in green and needed a wash. Good to put a project aside and come back to it later when you have inspiration. IOD mold Persephone is going to get a whole new look. Since we're going through old things, I also found this old frame I had made with Persephone, an IOD mold, which is gorgeous. I used DIY paint pigments, and I really love this, but I decided I'm going to use my 4 colors to do even more, to make her look even more old world. I did a similar finish where I just did Bohemian Blue on the outside and then Apothecary, blending it with paper towel and my finger and a lot of trial and error and some water. Really, it's kind of a just trial and error. DIY paint has no latex or acrylic, so it is really fun to play around with it. I added some Queen Bee to her hair. I decided to do Cowgirl Coral on her cheek. I used up a good stash of the stuff that I have, but I still have a lot. See that? That's my next pile. Let's go upstairs and see what I've got up there. Added Bohemian Blue to her bust and then realized I painted it too high up and just used some water and wiped scraped it off. I also went over with the Apothecary using my paper towel to blend it in. Then I added a little piece of an IOD inlet. Cowgirl Coral and Queen Bee for the sunset. I am not a professional painter, so give me some grace here, but I'm really thrilled with how it turns out. Just little brushes, little trial and error. A little heat gun to speed things along and pull up that inlay. I am going to seal this both with clear wax, and then I'm going to use some dark wax. You always want to put clear wax down first before you put dark wax down. I love the way Persephone is aged. Adding a little clear wax to my little ocean painting, and the final part will be some gold wax for the sun shining over the ocean. I'm so pleased at what a small amount of paint can create. I'm gonna finish up my funky artwork here and just a little touch-up paint and a light sand. I'm gonna seal it with clear wax, and then I'm going to go over it with black wax. Remember, you always wanna put your clear wax down first. Now I'm adding the black wax. It looks really dirty, but when you put it over clear wax, you can easily erase what you don't want. Just using a dry paper towel, let it set and buff. I love the way it turned out. This is where I host workshops right now. I have some projects on the table there, and I have a pile of big frames. Let's zoom in for a closer look. I've got a pile of big frames. I've got cool decoupage paper. I've had this girl for quite a while, and my next video, she's gonna make an appearance, probably in one of these big frames. Can you spare a chair? I sure can. I've got a lot of chairs in here. I didn't pay for any of them, which is probably not surprising given how some of them look. Oh, look, we've got more frames, old cabinet doors. This is the summer. I am going to make my way through the stash. I promise myself no more dumpster diving, no more thrift shopping till I make my way through all of my inventory. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to watch the other videos in this series, and join me next time where I find more of my stuff to make over and redo. Thanks for watching.